how I was chasing the bag and I got lost. How I was chasing the bag and I got lost. Now, I was chasing the bag and I was getting to the bag, but Madeline Boykins, got lost. So, a lot of people wonder why I had such a successful business. Actually, I had just put some work into a second location and made it bigger and better. Why would you do that? Y'all, my lips are crusty. Everybody want to know, why would you do all of that and then close your store? Well, y'all, my lips are crusty. I was chasing the bag and I got lost. Okay? Meaning, the business was growing. The business was booming. But Madeline got lost. I lost who I was. I lost what I stood for. I got sidetracked from the mission. Money was never the mission. Okay. Although money needed to be made, and it was nice having the money, it wasn't the mission. The mission was to inspire, to uplift, to provide a service that I felt was missing. I started the boutique because I was going through some things that they had found the lump on my breast, and I was going through a time I was just having a hard time trying to come to grips with having this lump in my breast. And this wasn't the first time. This was I want to say this was probably about the third time that this had happened to me. So all the women, well, 4 women in my family have been diagnosed with breast cancer, and they all were diagnosed in their 30s. So I just diagnosed myself with breast cancer when they found the lump. I'm like, it keep on coming. This is the time. They were really taking it serious. We were doing some surgery to remove the lump. What is it called? I can't even think of the word, y'all. Biopsy of the lump in my breast. This is the first time that they had went that far. So in my mind, hey, this is it. I got this cancer. So I was going crazy, y'all. I was about to lose my mind. I told my husband, I'm like, I want to go back to work, because I was a stay-at-home mom. I was blessed to have the opportunity to stay home with my children. So I was like, I want to go to work. I'm going crazy in this house. I need to get out this house. And my husband was like, well, what you gonna do? I'm like, well, I'm gonna go back and do CNA work. And he was like, well, you said that you don't ever want to do that again. You hurt your back, it was hurting your body. That's not what you want to do. I'm like, well, what is it? What else to do? Because I don't know, I didn't know anything else but healthcare at that point in my life. So I decided to start filling out applications. And my husband came home one day. He was like, baby, what you doing? And I was like, I'm filling out applications for a CNA position. He was like, why? You said you don't want to do that. I was like, what else I'm going to do? He said, what about the boutique you always talked about starting? Why not do that? I said, babe, now don't nobody like me. My family ain't going to support me. I'm not popular. I don't have no friends. How in the hell am I going to make a business work? I would have to get a storefront. Me going online is not going to be lucrative for us, especially with me not being popular. He was like, well, get a storefront. I was like, we ain't got no money for that. He was like, get the storefront. We'll figure it out or whatever. So I'm like, well, if I get a storefront, it got to be on Lindbergh, because I need visibility. I need people to see me, because you already know my family ain't going to support me. My friends, I ain't really got many, but you know how people get when you're trying to do things for yourself, better yourself. So it was so crazy. I had knew this lady. She had been selling clothes, and I called her. And I wouldn't say that we are friends, but we've known each other a while. I called her, and I was like, could you give me some advice? I'm trying to get this boutique started, could you share with me? I think I was asking her, like, how do you go about getting the products and getting the vendors, yada, yada, yada. And she explained to me that she didn't really know what was going on. And she was just winging it. And once she found out, she would tell me. So I didn't understand business, and I didn't understand the game and how certain people play it. So I was crushed. I was really crushed in that moment. But what she did was she lit a fire under me. She helped me to understand that I could not get this done without doing the research on my own. Yeah, I got hot. She helped me understand that I couldn't get this done without doing the research on my own. So I just poured myself into the fashion business. I started to find out about sourcing. I started to find out about retail. What's the difference between retail? Started searching terms, finding out what a brick and mortar was, because I've been in plenty brick and mortar stores, but I did not know that is what they were called. So I've never really been out of the hood. So I didn't have the terminology. I didn't know the terminology. So I just started watching tons and tons of videos on YouTube. And I just winged it, y'all. I opened the store. We didn't have a lot of money. Let me go back. Opening of the store, right? I'm like, how we gonna afford a space? Like, we ain't got that type of money. And my husband's like, baby, go look. I saw one on Lindbergh. You should go see it. So I went and saw the space, 574 North Highway 67, is where Fly Zone was originally located. I went and saw the space, and I was like, I want it. So when I walked into the door, y'all, I had the vision of what I wanted Fly Zone to be. I knew that this was the spot. The energy was right. And the guy, it's almost as if he was trying to talk me out of it. He was like, yeah, many people look at this spot. They never go through with it. They never get it. So I started to think instantly, like, dang, you must got to have some paper to get up in here. You must need, X, Y, Z, da, da, da. Didn't really know what you needed. So I'm like, we ain't getting it. And it took forever. Do y'all hear me? It took forever for them to get back to us and let us know. Like, we had the finances right. My husband, he had did everything that he needed to do to make sure that we should secure the spot. Being that he was a small business banker, he knew exactly what they would be looking for when trying to get a rental space. But me, I'm like, oh, they ain't giving it to us. We ain't got nothing. We poor, we black. They don't want us here, So on my birthday, we got the call. No, we got the keys on my birthday. And my birthday is July 3rd. So we got the keys. I was so excited, y'all. I did not think that I was going to get this spot. But my husband, he had the faith for me. He spoke it into existence for me to have this business. And when I got it, y'all, I said, God, I'm going to cherish this. And I'm going to make it do what it do for my family. This is the start of my family's future. This is going to be the starting point for generational wealth in my family. So, yeah, I was on Facebook Marketplace. I was getting the free stuff. I was getting used stuff. I was, like, people was having stuff like curbside, going out of business. I was everywhere getting the stuff to get this store open. And I did it, y'all. But me and my husband, we really worked really, really hard to get this store together. And as I watched it grow, I was so amazed at how far we came in that store. Looking at the pictures for when it started versus when we left the store, ain't no way in the hell the store would have been looking like it was looking when we started. But y'all stayed with me, y'all stuck with me, and y'all helped the business grow. So with that being said, I found myself at Fly Zone. I found out what type of person I was. I found out that I was likable. I found out that the things that people said about me was not true. There were people out here who appreciated me. It was people out here that saw my value. It was people out here that saw, who was proud of me. Like, it was crazy because it was people who didn't even really know me. And I got discouraged in the business sometimes because, like, on my grand opening, I can remember, I want to say the only two people that, and I'm sorry if I don't remember that you were there, the only two people who are in my family that I can remember that was there was my sister Elzera, and my cousin Poo Poo. They showed up. All my extended family, like my best friends, they showed up. But none of my mother children came. I don't think any of my father children were there. Besides, so I had two daddies. I have my bio dad, and then I have my stepdad. None of my bio dad family or children were there. And my son's father came and his family, and they supported me. They were doing whatever they could do to help out. I mean, the children were even modeling the clothes. He was passing out, my son's father was passing out snow cones. And for the people who know us, for me, that was a shock moment for me, because my son's father, we didn't have a happy, healthy relationship. We were two children trying to do grown up things, and it didn't work out, and it almost ended tragically. And his wife, she even came and helped out, and me and her didn't have a really good start. We had a fist fight in the beginning of their relationship and the ending of our relationship. So to have them there to support me, I was excited, grateful, but I was so shocked and hurt at the same time. At the end of the night, grand opening, I think we made about $5,000. After everybody went to bed, we have a walk-in closet. I went into the walk-in closet, y'all, and I cried. I probably cried for about an hour or two, because I was just wondering, why wasn't they there? Why wasn't my sisters there? Why wasn't my brother there? I didn't have any aunts, uncles. And I did appreciate the family that's there, and they are the family that always show up, which I'm not taking that from them, that I don't appreciate them, but I could not understand why the people that I really wanted and needed to be there was not there. So that hurt me to my core, but it also helped me to understand the power of prayer. And when someone prays over you and you believe in that person and the words that this particular person, my brother-in-law, he counseled my husband and I when we got married, and he spoke over our marriage, and he said that God told him that we were going to have a successful marriage. He told us that we were going to be getting attacked from so many different directions. It's going to be loved ones who didn't support our marriage and tried to break our union. He said that we were going to be going through the loss of our parents, sickness, all of that. And everything that he spoke has come to light. We lost my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, my dad in the midst of our relationship. My mom's boyfriend, who was like a father figure to us as well, we lost him. He was a very vital part of our family. And I even went through some health challenges. And my husband went through a very, very scary health situation that almost killed him. So everything he said was going to happen happened. And so when we got the store, it was only fitting that we had him to pray over the store. And he prayed over the store, and I can't remember everything that he said, But he said that the energy in that store, he felt the presence of God in the store, and that he was going, the business was going to be successful. And he was saying that God was going to use my enemies to prepare a place. And that's what comes to mind when I think about what happened the day of the grand opening, y'all. My son's father was an enemy to me for a very long time. It wasn't until recently that I was able to forgive him. So even though he helped us on that day, he was still like an enemy to me, and I wasn't able to get past that for a very long time. But he helped me prepare this place. He even though it was a small part, it was a big part because he was there. So Fly Zone, it matured me. It taught me about business. It taught me life lessons. But we know that some things are around for a season, and we try to make them permanent. So I really believe that Fly Zone store at 574 was supposed to be a season for me. And at the end of my lease, I was supposed to let it go, like I said I was going to do, to go home, to be there for my children, because my children were missing me. All the losses that we had, they had too, and we didn't realize that the effects of my in-laws have really, really damaged them as well. So I would say things like, let me get this big store started, and I'm going to have all my inventory out. That way people can come and shop. I won't have to be there as much. I have this big store, this big staff, and everything would be okay. I can just work, on Wednesdays and then Fridays and Saturdays. That was my plan when I opened the Fly Zone, the fashion bar. But it never happened that way. It took so much more time to run the store. It took so much more time and energy away from my children. I had started to have different health issues, and I didn't allow myself time to heal from surgeries. I didn't allow myself time to grieve from loss because I was chasing the bag. I remember the first time I made $80,000. Most people would celebrate that, but I was like, damn, if I made 80, can I make $100,000 in a month? And so I would push myself, and everything that I would do would be based on the store. I would go out when I had a product that wasn't moving, wasn't selling. I would go out to the club or go out to the bar, put that outfit on, put it together, show people how to use it so I can turn around and sell it the next day or the next week in the store if it was on a Saturday. It had came to the point where I was opening my stores on Sundays. It's not that I was hurting for cash. It's not that I needed the extra money, but I wanted to get the extra money. And I thought it was okay because I wasn't getting the extra money to buy bags and cars and things of that nature. I was just so afraid of becoming broke again. When I saw that I can make that type of money and it can change my family life, I went full-fledged. I went hard on securing the bag, chasing the bag. I was chasing the bag and I got lost. I would go home some days and my kids wouldn't even speak to me. They didn't want to talk to me. They didn't want to be around me because when they tried, I would say, wait a minute, give me a second. Let me finish this. I got to make this post. I got to take this picture. I got to do this. I got to do that. And at that time, my daughter was going to middle school. That was a very hard transition for her. And it was a whole bunch of things that I missed as a parent. And if you follow me on social media, you probably see me make a post to her bio dad crying out for him to see her because she wanted him, and I didn't know how to help her because I didn't know her, because she was growing up and I was making the money, and they can wait, because all I wanted was for my mama to have a little change and be able to buy me shoes and bags and clothes when I wanted to, or I didn't want them to experience not being able to have money for registration fees and stuff like I went through as a kid. One incident I can remember being probably one of the best cheerleaders on the team, but I couldn't make the team because I didn't have the money to pay. And I never wanted my kids to experience that, but I never took the time to ask my kids what they wanted. My kids wanted me home. They wanted me to be there with them to do homework. They wanted me to be there with them to read stories. They wanted me to be there to cook meals instead of sending pizza or taking them out to eat for an hour and then leaving and going back to the store. I lost myself chasing the bag. I lost my family chasing the bag. They were there physically, but mentally, I lost. To the point where I lost me. When I lost them, I no longer wanted the store anymore. I no longer wanted to be there. Like, I would be so stressed out or so frustrated, and the store started to become a job. I had never felt that way before, but when I lost my family, I lost my drive. So I lost myself chasing the bag. I just want you guys to be, I just shared this with you so that you understand when people say having money ain't everything. I know it takes for you to experience it yourself. But if you trust me, or if you know me, or know someone like me, listen, when you're chasing the bag, you gotta have your mental together, because chasing the bag can help you lose yourself. Chasing the bag can help you lose your family. Chasing the bag can help you break. You wonder why very successful people kill themselves, because they chasing the bag. So this message is for you to chase the purpose. Don't chase the bag. Thank y'all for listening.